Good morning. This Sunday, March 29th, a significant political shift is unfolding within the Republican Party as JD Vance has emerged as the frontrunner for the 2028 presidential nomination at the CPAC conference. Meanwhile, the United States is grappling with widespread anti-government protests, demanding President Trump's removal and a persistent government shutdown affecting Homeland Security operations. At the annual Conservative Political Action Conference, or CPAC, held in Grapevine, Texas, United States Vice President JD Vance secured a commanding lead in a straw poll for the 2028 Republican presidential candidacy. Vance garnered approximately 53% of the more than 1,600 votes cast in the test ballot released on Saturday. Coming in second was United States Foreign Minister Marco Rubio with 35%. No other potential candidate managed to secure more than 2% of the votes. While this informal vote cannot predict the ultimate nominee, it serves as a crucial indicator of the party base's sentiment. The results strongly suggest that the support of the party's right wing is consolidating around these two politicians. The CPAC conference is known for attracting strong supporters of United States President Donald Trump's Make America Great Again movement. Across the nation, Saturday, March 28th, saw mass protests against the government of United States President Donald Trump under the rallying cry of No Kings. Demonstrations were planned in all 50 states, with international solidarity protests also forming in several German cities. Participants called for President Trump's removal from office and his arrest. In Washington, D.C., tens of thousands of demonstrators, including many older individuals, marched across the Memorial Bridge towards the city center on Saturday morning, local time. Organizers, a coalition of various civil society groups, anticipated approximately 9 million participants nationwide, potentially making it one of the largest protest mobilizations in the country's history. Similar actions last year also drew millions to the streets. A central event for the nationwide protests was scheduled in St. Paul, Minnesota, expecting up to 100,000 attendees on Saturday afternoon, local time. These protests are partly fueled by controversial federal agency operations tied to tightened migration measures, which previously led to weeks of unrest in the region and resulted in the deaths of 2 United States citizens from federal officer gunfire. The ongoing budget shutdown for the Department of Homeland Security continues, meaning long lines at major United States airports are likely to persist. A proposal to end the 6-week partial shutdown was rejected in Congress on Friday, local time. House Republicans refused to consider a bill passed by the Senate. The House later passed its own version, which has little chance of success in the Senate. This legislative stalemate leaves tens of thousands of security personnel at United States airports working without pay. The Senate's proposal included funding for the Transportation Security Administration, responsible for passenger luggage and cargo screenings, but it omitted funds for the controversial Immigration and Customs Enforcement and Border Protection agencies, all of which fall under the Department of Homeland Security. In other news, United States President Donald Trump has sharply criticized German Chancellor Friedrich Merz of the CDU party for Germany's perceived lack of assistance in securing the Strait of Hormuz. Speaking at a conference in Miami, Florida, President Trump first targeted NATO allies, France and Great Britain, before turning his attention to Germany. He quoted, "The German Chancellor, these are all my friends, Friedrich. The German Chancellor," he said, "this is not our war." President Trump then added that if that were the case, the war in Ukraine was also not America's war. This criticism of Germany had also been voiced by President Trump the previous day, where he deemed the statement, "This is not our war," attributed to German leadership as inappropriate. The original statement came from Defense Minister Boris Pistorius of the SPD, while Chancellor Merz made a similar remark during a recent visit to Norway, stating, "Germany is not part of this war, and we do not want to become part of it." These developments underscore a period of significant political and social unrest in the United States, marked by internal party struggles, widespread public dissent, and international tensions. What's your take on JD Vance Leads 2028, GOP Poll, US Protests Swell, Trump Slams Germany? Share your view in the comments. Do you think this will matter in the next news cycle? This video was generated using artificial intelligence.